Mayo in the mix. What's
Yes,
up,
sir.
man?
What's good, bro?
How you feeling?
Can't complain, man. At all. Can't complain.
All right, so tell me about yourself. Like, where you from?
Yeah, I'm from. I was born in D.C. Moved to PG County when I was like 4. Grew up in like the DMV area. My pops actually plays in a go-go band, so I kind of like been around music my whole life. He played backyard, played keyboard, and so I kind of like been around music my whole life. Yeah, grew up playing basketball. Wasn't really into music, ironically. Didn't even like go-go growing up, ironically, even though my pops played in a go-go band. But yeah, like grew up playing basketball, into like technology and shit. And I really didn't start making beats till like my junior year of college, like 2018. I was probably like 20, 21 years old. Yeah.
So, like, while your dad was, act. Well, I guess he's still active in the band, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, while when he was doing it, like, did you ever care at all, or were you just focused on just like school and?
Honestly, I did care, but it was more of like, it was normal to me. Like, he was a local celebrity. Like, even till this day, like, if we go out in public, if it's in the DMV, no matter if we in Tysons, Virginia, if we in DC, if we at Columbia Heights, if we in South, it don't matter. Like, somebody's gonna know who he is.
Yeah.
Like, everywhere we go, like, somebody recognize him. So, it wasn't like, I didn't care or I did care. It was just like, oh, that's Pops. Like, he in the band, and like, it was just regular. So, yeah.
So did go-go have any influence on your beats?
Not at all, because I even to this day, like, I still really don't like go-go, and I didn't like go-go growing up. And again, I know that sounds crazy because my dad in the band, but like, probably because I heard it so much that like I just wasn't really like that into it for real. So now there's really no go-go influence in like my music at all.
So when you started making beats, what was your main influence? Like, what got you into started making beats?
So what got me into making beats, y'all heard of the what's it called? The company Genius, right? Who do the music stuff.
Yeah.
So they got a series called Genius Deconstructed where they break down all the beats. So it was this producer named Isaac. He produced Rubbing Off the Paint by YB and Amir. And he had did a breakdown of the beat. And then when he had did a breakdown of the beat, at the end of the video, he was like, yeah, like, I only been producing like 9 months and like I made a hit. So once he said that, for me it clicked. I'm like, oh shit, like, he got that good in less than a year? I could do that shit. And I started, right? Started making beats for like a day or two. I'm like, man, this shit too hard. Fuck this shit. Close the laptop, ain't touch it again. And then maybe like, might have been like February, March. And then like July came, and I'm like, let me try this shit again. And I tried it, started looking at YouTube videos, tutorials after tutorials after tutorials, and it just got better. So that's really how like I got into it, from Genius Deconstructed.
And you said crazy. You said you started in the 11th grade?
No. I was my junior year of college.
Oh, shit.
So I was like 20, 21. I might have been 21 by then. 20 or 21, something like that. Yeah.
Word.
And I'm about to be 26 in like 2 weeks. So like 5 years.
Yeah. So yeah, what type of beats did you start producing? Like, what was it, like trap beats, DMV beats, or what?
Nah. So I never really got into the DMV beats, and I've kind of had like a back and forth conversation with myself. Like, not do I regret not making DMV beats, but like, sometimes I wish I had tapped into it a little more, just so I could have like a bigger buzz and following. Even though people know me, I feel like I would have been a little bit bigger if I'd like tapped into like the DMV shit. But honestly, since from the jump, like, I've like been super big on being versatile. So like, I was making, I won't say everything, but as far as trap beats, I would say this. When I first started, I was making a lot of melodic trap beats. So like, Nick Mirror, like the Juice WRLD, and like, that was like my intro into making beats, was like the piano, like the melodic pianos, trap drums, like 150 BPM. Like, that was like my beginning of like starting to make beats for real.
So was there like besides like Isaac, was there like a producer influence that you had? Because I know when I was making beats, I was watching endless like Zaytoven cookups and Metro cookups. And, I was trying to make those type beats.
It was Nick Mirror. Like, Nick Mirror, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, Nick Mirror has like a huge stamp in like the beginning of like me making beats. Like, he's the reason why I got good so fast. And I know it's crazy because I know a lot of producers say that, but like, he was the only one that like, who was in the industry and like was starting to get hits, but still was doing tutorials, like telling you how to make this type of beat, telling you like, all right, this is a chord, this is how you make a melody, this is how you do this is how you do that. So really, it was Nick Mirror, and I was so into Juice WRLD at the time. Like at the time, Juice WRLD was like my favorite artist. So like, he was the perfect person to really look at. So it was definitely Nick Mirror. Not so much now, but back then for sure.
Before you started making beats, did you ever pay attention to the? Would you hear a song and then pay attention to the beat and be like, "Oh, I like this
bro.
beat," or you just hear the song?
I would just hear the song, and the reason I know that is because I started producing in like 2018, 2019, and once I started producing songs that I love, that I listen to all the time, I would listen to once I started producing, and it would just sound completely different. Like I hear everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh shit, they did that with the hi-hats, they did that with the 808, they did that with the kick. So now, ever since then, like I listen to music differently.
So speaking of like the sounds of like your hi-hats and 808s, do you have a specific method with going about, tracking out the patterns and?
Yeah, so I won't say it's a method. Yeah, I won't say it's a method, but it's more of like not even a routine. Like I purposely like so one thing I feel like that sets me apart as a producer with my drums is my kicks and my hi-hats. Like my 808s, like I can make a cranking 808 pattern, but then sometimes they be mid, and then if I'm like cooking up with Sean, I'll be like, Sean, just lay down the 808. But I know for the kick and them hi-hats, I'm gonna always go crazy. But as far as the hi-hats, like I really like intricate, like laid out, spaced out hi-hats, and then might have moments where it's a little fast and then slow and then fast, or it might just be all the way slow where it's just a bounce versus like a where it's just a bounce. And I feel like that my hi-hat influence definitely came from Weezy. Like Weezy, produced for Gunna, Baby Thug, all them. That it definitely came from Weezy, and then I started like honing into my own and like started really making my own hi-hat patterns. And a lot of like producers, they like give me props on like my hi-hats, and they be like, yeah, I know that's Mayo beat, them hi-hats going crazy. And I know a lot of producers don't even really either pay attention to them or don't really care to like do them. And that's like one of my favorite parts of like making a beat is the hi-hats. But for sure, hi-hats and kicks for me is definitely like my thing.
Word. So how do you feel about using other perks? Like I know some producers, they like to use a lot of perks and they have a lot going on the beat, and some, they don't like any. They just do hi-hats, maybe an open hat, kick 808, boom.
So as far as perks, I'm definitely into perks. Every now and again, I try to like make it a little more, a little different, a little extra, a little more intricate. But most times it's like, I won't say a simple pattern, but not like how like the DMV drill is going on with all the perks and all that stuff going on. I'm not really a fan of that personally, only because I feel like it don't give the artist much room to like rap. Now, if you on that hard rah-rah shit, then like, yeah, it could work. But like the main artists that like I try to work with and target, like they'll probably hear that and be like, bro, that's too much. Like, take that out. Yeah. But another artist might hear it and be like, that's hard. But just personally, like, I'm not really a fan of like the super crazy perks.
So with the type of beats that you're making right now, like, is there a specific sound you're going for, or are you just, you just wake up in the morning and just make whatever you want?
So right now, it's I wake up in the morning and make whatever I want, but I do want to get to a point where like I have a sound, like literally a specific sound, but like you can kind of just tell like that's my beat. And I don't think I've gotten there as a producer yet, and I'm still growing there. And I feel like that comes one with time, and two, building with an artist. Yeah. Once you build with an artist and y'all start making a lot of not similar songs, but songs where y'all have a sound, that's when you start developing it. So, but right now it's like I just wake up and be like, all right, I want to make some pop shit today. Or one day I wake up and be like, all right, time to make some trap shit. I want to make some R&B shit. So, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie though, I feel like you do have a sound.
Really?
You probably just don't even like realize. Yeah, because everybody got a sound. Like, bro, if you're gonna do the same thing every day, there's always gonna be a specific way you do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I probably would have to like. I guess really the reason why I won't say I have a sound is because like I have so many beats that sound nothing like each other. Like a lot of them. Like I got beats that's like they're in the pocket. Some beats are in the pocket, but then I also have like a catalog of beats where like they sound nothing alike. So.
But when you say nothing alike, are these like two different genres?
Nah, it's not two different genres. It's like it can still be trap, but it's like completely different. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'll have to play you some songs to show you. For sure.
Word. So, when it comes to your producing, how important is it for you to be versatile? Like, how important do you see it as?
For me, like, it's extremely important. Like, it's at like the top of the list, and the reason why is because, like, how many artists you listen to?
I mean, me personally, I listen to like the same like 4 people.
Or okay, you listen to 4 people. Like, the reason why being versatile for me personally is so important is because, all right, for your 4 people, if they all got 4 different styles, and let's say, because I know you say you used to produce, and they all got 4 different styles, and they're your favorite artists, if you only make one type of beat, you only make hard trap beats, you only won't be able to cater to 2 out of the 4 artists. So, like, one artist might be a young boy type of artist who rap on faster, hard beats. One might be a DMV, one might be a melodic. But you can only tap into the young boy ones because you don't make the melodic beats.
Yeah.
But since I listen to so much different music and so many different artists, I want to be able to listen to a song and be like, oh yeah, I want to work with him, and be like, I can work with him because I can make anything. So it's super like important for me to be versatile because I can be in a room with anybody. You can put me in a room with Ariana Grande, we'll make a hit. You can put me in a room with Thug, we'll make a hit. You can put me in a room with Ed Sheeran, we'll make a hit. Like, but every producer can't say that. So that's why it's important to be versatile because I want to work with everybody because I listen to everything. So yeah.
Yeah. Now going back to your point of like when you said you wanted to have a bigger buzz in the DMV, do you think that your emphasis on versatility kind of like how do I phrase this? Do you think your emphasis on versatility, maybe like hindered your ability from getting
for sure?
That
and
buzz?
Like I have those like thoughts like with myself a lot. Like again, thinking like, damn, should I have like tapped into the DMV scene a little more? And to answer your question, yeah, I do think it hindered not my growth because again, like every studio I go into, like people know me, so it's not like I'm unknown. I just feel like I would be at like a way bigger level if I tapped into the DMV trap drill scene more. So like I feel like the artists that I have tapped into with that, they do that, but other things, like other type of like trap music, not just the DMV. And I feel like if I'd have tapped into that a little more, I probably would like be a little bigger. But that shit really don't mean nothing. It's more of like just an overthinking type of thing.
Yeah, because I'm about to say, I feel like all the beats that I've heard, your song, like all the beats that I've heard from you, or the songs that your beats.
Yeah.
I've always liked this song, and there's always been an artist who wasn't just like a say anything as artist. He's actually saying something. Yeah. So I feel like
and that's big for me. For me to reach out to you, like if you come to me and want to buy beats, I'm gonna sell a beat to anybody. But if I reach out to you and want to work with you, I have to like your music. Like I'm not just going to work with an artist just because they big. Now if they reach out to me, that's something different. But like I don't care if you got 100K, 150, 200. Like if I personally don't enjoy your music, I'm not going to like reach out to send you beats. So like everybody I make music with, unless they bought a beat, not unless, but most people I make music with, like unless they bought a beat from me, like I fuck with their music. Like I listen to their music in my own time, own free time. That's not my beats type shit.
Yeah. So do you have an artist or like artists that you're trying to build up?
Multiple.
Right now?
So right now I'm working with Mo Money Cam. We right now, like in this moment, we're working on the tape together, me and him. We ain't got no names, we ain't got no track list yet, but we've been linking up like every week, just making songs, just trying to get a catalog together and then pick from those. Nuge, my boy Nuge. It's this white boy. He's from New York, but then he moved to the DMV. We make a lot of good music. This artist named Supreme Day. I love working with him because I feel like Supreme Day, y'all gotta look him up. He's extremely talented. I love working with him because he pushes my artistic producer brain like to the next level. Like he makes me do things that I wouldn't have thought of if he wasn't sitting there with me. So definitely him. Who else am I? Like really, really JD, real JD. Me and him got a lot of music. We'll be locking in. Yin Yang. Me and Yin Yang in like 2019, 2020, we kind of had like a year to 2 year run. We was dropping song after song, tape after tape. I was on like half the songs on his tape, and then he kind of slowed down dropping music. But He's another artist. But those probably like the main ones I can think of off the top of my head were like I'm building with them. Like we got catalog of music together. So yeah.
So I like how you said that your artist, I think you said Supreme Day, how he like pushes you to, take your music to the next level.
Yeah.
Now if there's a producer, let's say there's a producer out there who's wondering how to do that on his own, let's say he doesn't have an artist, what does Supreme Day do, to help you or to force you to, push your music to the next level?
Really, what he does is he gives suggestions. I think it's his creative artistic mind. So like he knows what he wants in certain beats. Like some artists, which is okay, they just want a beat. Here, if they fuck with it, they're gonna rap on it. He wants to sit down and be like, all right, I hear this in the beat, but I feel like you could add this. Or I hear this and I feel like actually take that away and then add this and then do the melody like this and he'll hum it out or whistle it out or some shit. And it's like certain shit that I just wouldn't think of. Like I gotta play y'all this song after this that's like, it's so fucking different, but it's one of my favorite beats I've ever made, and it's literally only because there was so much shit he was telling me to put in the beat that like I would have never thought in a million years to do. But once we got to the end result, I'm like, damn, this beat is crazy. So that's definitely like the main things. Just artists being, suggesting stuff, and also producers really gotta not take shit personal. Like every beat you make ain't gonna crank. Just like every song you make with an artist ain't gonna be good. Every song, like people think that Drake, the songs Drake comes out with, like that's all the music he make. Drake make 30 million songs a year. You telling me every song is good? Hell no. Like it's impossible. Everybody has if anything you do everything ain't gonna be perfect. So I would say with producers, don't take it personal if an artist is skipping your beats. Be like, all right, play the next one. Or if you're making the beat and they ain't fucking with it, because it's all subjective and they just gonna fuck with the next one or the one after that. But you can't take it personal.
So how do you feel about loops? Like using loops in your beats?
I don't mind it at all. Like I fuck with using loops. Honestly, I'm at a point right now in my music career where I kind of want to slow down on using loops because I feel like when I first started producing, since I was so eager to learn, I was doing everything from scratch, and my beats were a little more creative than they are now. So I fuck with loops heavy, but I'm like the moment I'm right now, I'm starting to try to get back into making loops from scratch to get back to that like creativity Mayo, like just making random shit and then making it sound good at the end result. But I don't have no problems with loops at all. Like I fuck with it. Just don't let it be like 3, 4, 5 niggas on a loop. 2 is the max. Cause like not even off no split shit. It's just like, bro, like why do you need 4 people to make one loop?
Yeah,
like that's too much. But yeah.
So how do you keep yourself locked in with making beats? Because from what I understand, like you're not working out of a studio, right?
No,
you're just kind of doing your own shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's another thing that I'm trying to improve at, and I feel like I have stints. Like, I'll have like a month or 2 months where I'm just like cranking out beats like daily or every other day or 20 a week, 15, 20 a week, and then I'll go like 2 weeks without making nothing. And I know sometimes that's needed, but I feel like I do it a little too often sometimes. Like I feel like I take breaks too often sometimes. So I'm trying to really get back into like being consistent and also like kind of like not hitting a quota, but like, all right, telling myself all I gotta do is make 1 or 2 beats today. Because sometimes I go on and be like, all right, I'm trying to make like 10 beats. And so I can burn myself out sometimes. So that's something I'm like still working on myself, is like trying to stay consistent and like cooking up consistently. And I feel like what would help with that is like coming to the studio more often. So it's just like I kind of just got to start making those steps and decisions to start, just doing more.
You have a job, right?
Yeah.
So would you, for a young producer or just anybody who's starting producer who might have like a 9 to 5 or somewhere, not a job,
mm-hmm.
would you recommend them going to the studio to or like locking in with the studio?
What you mean, like?
Like, would you recommend them locking in the studio so they, help their craft with their beats and just?
You saying locking in the studio to like be an engineer? I guess I'm confused because you said the job thing at first. And then,
I'm saying like, you have a job, so obviously you can't be in the studio.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. That's a good question. I feel like locking into a studio would definitely be beneficial if that studio is like lit. Or like, actually no, let me take that back. Because even if a studio is not lit, any artist could pull up. So I would say, yeah, definitely locking in the studio can definitely, help a producer's career because you never know who's going to pull up. Like that day, the last time I was here,
Oh yeah.
I literally just came to like chill with Sean, just to chop it up with Sean. Like literally, like I didn't come here to like make beats and like, but just me being in the vicinity of the studio. Like I was just like, yeah, I'm already in Laurel, let me pull up on Sean, chop it up with my man and step. In the middle of us chopping it up, Gray called him, hey bro, like I'm trying to pull up to the stew. Sean already had a session, and Sean like, shit, you could just play him some beats, like I already got a session. So just me being in the studio, not me making beats, not me, doing something extra, just me being there, got me another placement. So definitely, being in the studio for sure could help. Just being in the vicinity, just making yourself, your face known, and so for sure, it could definitely help, for sure.
So do you have some advice on like smart ways to move as a producer, business wise and just, personal wise?
Yeah, I would say when you in the stew with artists, don't like fan out. Like don't like I understand like especially when you coming up and then you start like because it's like stepping stones. Just like you meet one artist that got like 3K and then one artist that got a 5 and then you just move up and up. But it's like you gotta realize that like you're equal. Like just because they have more following, like they need your beats to make a song. Because nobody's listening. Like I don't know unless y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but there are no acapella songs that go platinum. So they need you as a producer to make beats. So it's not, oh my God, it's so and so, or oh shit, bro, like I'm a big fan. Like you can show your gratitude and your appreciation for their music without being on their dick, basically. Like, so I would say that's definitely one thing is just to kind of like be a fly on the wall and not like fan out the first time you see a big artist in person. As far as on the business level, I feel like this might be controversial, but in the beginning, do everything for free because nobody knows who the fuck you are. So like, you can't charge beats and nobody knows unless they come into you. You can't charge nobody for beats or nothing like that, and like expect people to pay and they don't even know who you is. Like, so I would say in the beginning, definitely do like in the business side, like do a lot of shit for free, give beats for free. Maybe not record people for free, but record people for a lesser price than what the rate is going, just to get your catalog up, just to get familiar with making beats on the spot with artists, just to get familiar with how to make certain beats for different artists. You should do a lot of shit for free in the beginning for sure. So those are like two things, personal and then business side, I could say, will help definitely.
Now this is kind of unrelated to the topic, but remember you saying that you were really into technology and stuff as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like your knowledge of technology helped you with making beats? Just as in like using the software, and like some shit.
I would say so. Yeah, it made it way easier because when it comes to like IT and computer stuff, like I catch on fast in general. So like when I was like maybe watching YouTube videos or just playing with FL, I could kind of like figure certain shit out because I was already tech savvy. So I definitely will say it helps because if you asked me that question 3-4 years ago, I'd have said no. But so many people, like artists I've been with, they be like, bro, I don't even know how you do that producer shit, bro. And you in IT, like it really makes sense. Like you a nerd for real. That's probably why you blah blah blah, like joking and shit.
So what's your opinion on like the current state of like the DMV sound?
I feel like we in a good spot right now. Like I feel like we're slowly. I think we taking baby steps, but I feel like we slowly like starting to develop artists that aren't just the rah-rah trap artists, and we're starting to have a collective of like different music in the area, and no matter what category you fall in, you can go up. So you got people like KP, he on the DC DMV trap shit. And then you got artists like Junie. It's nothing like that. Junie is more of like a melodic. He's on like very intricate different beats. He gonna get on the trap shit, but he also gonna get on like a little pop beat or like he's gonna get on everything, but he's also going up. So I feel like the DMV is starting to be in a good spot to where I'm seeing growth from every category of music basically. So I like it. Like I like how it is right now. And I also like that it's the beef is starting to become less and less as like more time passes. Like more artists are starting to fuck with each other instead of not fucking with each other. So yeah.
So how do you feel about JIDK's comments that he made recently that have been going viral?
What was his comments again?
I forgot what he said. What did he say?
Essentially, they asked him like the same thing, like dealing with the DMV music scene and stuff, and they were like, he was just like, yeah, that shit's ass. To a degree. Essentially, like to sum it up, he was saying we're going nowhere.
Yeah, I definitely don't agree with that, and I feel like for you to make a statement like that, you can't be tapped in. Like you can't really be tapped in. You must just be like listening to like whatever somebody send you via DM on Instagram or just what you see on like music on the dot or something. Like if you really tapped in and you go in the studios with artists, like you pulling up the studios in the DMV with artists that got 3,000 followers, 6,000 followers, and not just the big DMV artists, you'll see there's talent. But you're not tapped in, so you don't get it. So like, I definitely disagree, and I feel like he just not hip. Like he just don't really understand. So yeah, I don't think that's the truth. And I don't like that he even shed that light on his own city. It's like if you didn't fuck with the scene, you could have just been like, I don't know, or I've kind of just been focused on whatever way you could finagle. You didn't have to shit on your own city, basically. So yeah, I disagree with like the comments he made.
I personally see you as a veteran DMV producer. You've been around the scene for 5-6 years.
Yeah, 5-6 years. Yeah.
What do you feel is your responsibility as like a leader and a pioneer in crafting the DMV sound?
Damn, bro, I really appreciate that. That's a big statement to say like I'm a leader and pioneer of like the DMV sound. Cause like it's like really an overthinking thing, and just like with most people and humans are with themselves. Like I never really saw that in me, but I kind of have to believe it because like I've heard that indirectly in so many different ways, and like how so many artists, big, huge in the DMV and small, got so much respect for me and fuck with me. So, but to answer your question, what our responsibility is to push the sound. Like it's our responsibility to like make beats that like that's DMV, and when I mean DMV, I'm not saying like the DMV piano sound, but like us as a culture, and consistently give artists great instrumentals and music to choose from. Because the DMV sound, or what we sound like, or everything that people hop on, like everything is because of the producers. Like the reason why our music sounds like our music and our flows and all that stuff that we use is because of the producers and the beats that we're giving them. So I feel like it's our responsibility to continue to like push the envelope of like making great beats and just consistently like making great beats like that. Like I feel like that's really our responsibility because we are the sound. The producers are the sound of the music. It's not the artist. The artist just rapping on the beat that they get. But the sound is the instrumental. So I feel like that's our responsibility for sure.
Word. So then how do you feel about the producers who, make the same beat?
I feel like they put themselves in a box. Because again, I can't say that. I was going to say most of those, I'll say this. A lot of the producers who like make like just one type of beat, like the DMV beats, they don't just listen. Well, I would say a lot of them just don't listen to DMV artists. They might listen to Dirk. They might listen to Youngboy. They might listen to other like hard trap niggas that might be in the industry type shit. And it's like when you just make that beat, those type of just a one type of beat, you putting yourself in a box. What you gonna do if Youngboy or Dirk or somebody come to DC randomly one day after they show, and they come to your studio, pull up some beats, bruh, and all you got is that type of shit, and they don't fuck with it. And you can't go to your other bag of beats that you have because you don't have nothing else. So it's like you putting yourself in a box. So you can't. So if Dirk in the studio like, yeah, play some shit, and then you got all DMV beats, he's like, yeah, bro, I'm feeling like some like melodic shit. Like I'm trying to sing, bro. What you gonna say? Damn, bro, like I ain't got no beats like that. Then now you missed out on the Lil Durk placement. And I know that's an extreme example, but like, one, that's possible, and two, you don't want to just make one type of music. So yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I've been in that like exact situation. So like you say, man, it's just like facts, bro. Like, you just can't box yourself in. Bro.
Can't. Like whenever I'm in a session with an artist and like the type of beats I'm playing, and they like, you got some shit like XYZ, I would say 8 times out of 10, my answer is always yes. Like, yeah, I do. It might not be a plethora of, it might not be a whole bunch, but like I'm gonna have a few, and then I know I'm a good enough producer. They gonna fuck with at least one of them. So I wouldn't want myself to ever be in that position. I don't want to ever be in a position where I'm in the studio with an artist and they say you got this, and I say no, and then I don't get the network, and I don't get the placement. I don't get the. It's like, what if they just leave? It's just like, damn, that was my opportunity. That could have changed my life, because you never know what moment is the moment. So yeah.
So I know like a lot of drum kits and a lot of producers, they sell like loop packs, MIDI packs, and like chord progressions and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you feel like now there's a lot of producers who don't actually know how to produce and they just make beats, like only just make the drums, especially with the
you mean like they don't know how to make like a complete beat from scratch?
Yeah, they're just a beat maker, producer.
See, I feel like a beat maker is someone who just make beats. I feel like a producer is the general term that we call ourselves, but like if we want to get technical, my personal opinion, I feel like a producer is someone who can go in a room and make a beat from scratch in front of an artist and do exactly what they ask for. I feel like a producer can be in a session with artists and give them lyrics and flows to use and actually put together a song together, like as a whole, not just the artist doing all the work. I feel like that's a producer. So you have the instrumental side and you also contributing to the actual song. But to answer your question, I do feel like it's a lot of like just beat makers. That's just like loops and drums, and that's it. That's all they do. And the way music is right now, like that could work. Cause like really, honestly, like in 2023, like what's going to set you apart is being unique and really just networking. Like, cause a lot of people got good beats because there's so much information and like ways to learn about the shit on YouTube. You can know how to make a beat now in a month. Like literally detail. There's anything you can think of to ask YouTube, it's on there. So it's like it's really just being unique and networking. So like people who are just beat makers, it's like, yeah, they just beat makers. You can hate, but like they can still get placements. Like that ain't gonna really change nothing. So, but yeah, I do feel like it's a lot of producers that are just beat makers, but I don't hate on them. Like that's their thing. Get your bread how you can. Like I know what I do, and my versatility is gonna take me farther. So, yeah.
Do you feel like it's important for somebody who's trying to produce to learn how to engineer too?
Yes. So just to know how to record someone, that's important. Mixing and mastering, that's not important. Like you could just pay somebody to do that. Like, or the artist could just pay somebody to mix the song. But to actually record, know how to use Pro Tools, yes, like 100%. Because one, that can land you placements. Like I've heard so many stories. Who was it? I was listening to somebody. It was Baby, and I think it was it Quay Global, or it was one of Baby's producers. The first day he met Baby, it was nobody in the studio, and that the particular producer, I think it was Quay Global. He wasn't an engineer, but he knew how to engineer. He was like his title, like he wasn't recording every day as his job. It was nobody in the stew. Baby wanted to record. And it was just him and Baby. Now imagine if you ain't know how to use Pro Tools. You're fucked. That could have been 3 Baby placements you could have had that night. So like it's extremely important to know how to record just for situations like that and more placements. Like if you know how to record, you can just tell somebody to pull up. Like even if it's a home stew, yeah, bro, pull up. I'll record you. Like especially if it's an artist you fuck with heavy, like yeah, bro, like, I'll record you. Like we could just split the streaming money. Like you ain't got to pay me to record. Like we just split the streaming money. And like y'all build together, like that could help your career. But it's like if you don't know how to do it, it's like that could really hinder you. And I always say, to end it off, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So, yeah. It's better to know how to engineer and never ever ever be in a situation where you have to, than to be in a situation where you have to and not know how to engineer. So, yeah.
Alright, so are there any artists that you're trying to work with now?
Yeah, so I'm definitely like a person that's high on my list is Shorty. Like, if anybody watching this, bruh, if y'all be more, y'all got connections to him, like, please tell him to hit me up, bro. I got plenty of beats for that nigga. Like, Shorty is that nigga. Like, he probably one of my favorite artists. Not just, well, I know Baltimore don't consider themselves DMV, so not just this area, but like in general, he's like one of my favorite artists. So definitely Shorty. I'm trying to work with KP. I sent him like I got his number and shit. And I've been sending him beats, but I don't know if we like got any music yet. I'm trying to work with K Camp. Like K Camp is hard. Who else I'm trying to work with? I'm trying to like get more shit with Junie. Me and Junie, we got like 5-6 unreleased songs, but like none of them actually came out. I'm trying to get more songs with him. He's probably one of my favorite artists too. Who else? Definitely Thug. Hopefully he get free soon, man. Free Thug. Like that's like, I know some, like a lot of producers, like their number one placement would be Drake. Like my number one placement, if I had to like pick, would be Thug. Cause I feel like if I was in the studio with Thug, I could be in the studio with Thug for 24 hours and we can make hella shit, and I can probably just play him a whole bunch of different type of beats. If I had a session with Drake, like it would still be good, but I know he's gonna want shit a certain way. He's gonna like be very particular, and I can do that. But I feel like with Thug, it would just be fun. Like we would just make crank all day. So Thug is probably definitely on the top of that list. But yeah, those probably like a few artists like I'm definitely trying to work with. Yeah.
Is there anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, man. Shout out all the artists that I have been working with. Shout out all like the people who fuck with Mayo. Shout out all the people who always tell me they fuck with my tag. Like a lot of people say they fuck with my tag. And when I first got that tag, like my best friend made that joint. He sent me like 10 voice memos of just him saying random shit with the word Mayo in it. And that Mayo in the Mix one was just the one I kept. But so many people say they fuck with that joint heavy, and I appreciate that. Definitely, you know, people that's been fucking with me, the artists that's been fucking with me, continue to fuck with me. You know, people that's showing support. And yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, Mayo, for coming out, sitting down with us.
Yes, sir.
Take your notes.
Yes, sir. Hey, I'm spitting game, man. I'm dropping gems.
Mota, 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 Mota. How you say that nigga and you don't get paid? Party with bitches. We got